What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 13 of Couples Coverage. I'm your host, Nicholas Moreano. And of course, I'm joined by the one and only Stephanie Abonce. Baby, how are you doing?
I'm good.
You good? You ready?
I'm ready. I'm excited. You know, whenever you do the countdown?
Mm-hmm. My 3. Yeah, before this actually goes live, I do like a 3, 2, 1. It helps with the editing.
I know. That's the only part that I always get nervous at still. Because it's not like we're just talking and it's recording already. It's like a countdown and it makes you feel like I have to like perform or something.
Get ready to go. Get our podcast voices, faces on. And
do you think I have a podcast voice?
I think everyone has a podcast voice.
I have one?
I don't think you sound any different than what you normally sound like. I really don't think I do. But I think there are times where you've said like you're in podcast mode.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's too different from...
Like, it doesn't sound any different, but you can tell it sounds... You kind of have this, like, reporter voice that you go into whenever you're starting to, like, really go in hard on all, like, the opinions or stats or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I can tell you're in podcast mode. But for this, you sound the same. But you know how, like, some people have, like, higher-pitched voices whenever they get... like on the phone or something.
Yeah, my mom, like, I'm like, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to like that? Because that's not how you normally talk. And, she definitely does. And mom, you know, if you watch this, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
No, my mom does that too, actually, a little bit.
Maybe it's a mom thing. Maybe it's a parents thing. I don't know. My dad, nah. Yeah, maybe it's just a mom thing.
Do I used to get nervous that I did, which is why phone calls gave me a lot of anxiety because I'm like, does my voice sound different when I'm talking? Even to this day, I have a little bit of phone anxiety. I don't like answering phones if I don't know who it is or getting on a phone call. I'd rather get on a FaceTime where you can like see people's expressions.
I don't know if I don't think I've noticed it like on the phone if I call you or talk to you. So.
No. But like if I'm making an appointment or if I'm like yesterday we were in the car together when I was on the phone.
I mean, I think there's times where you're a little bit more. I know it sounds like it's not like a serious talk, but I can tell you're talking to somebody that obviously you haven't talked to before. You're trying to get something done, get something scheduled. Yeah. So maybe it's a slight
customer service voice.
Customer service voice. Yeah, funny. That's the thing. All right, we have one of our favorite drinks on the show. Not a partner yet, but just something that we like to drink. And you want to show the camera there, babe, what we're drinking?
Free promo here. We recommend these to literally everyone, and this is the first time we're gonna have a little drink on the podcast.
Ace Pineapple.
Yeah, Ace Pineapple
Craft Cider. We're big into ciders, so
yeah,
we got some for last weekend and we have some left over.
And I feel like everyone that we've recommended these to have really liked them.
And this is the the bottle over. Shout out to my friend Ryan who got this as I think it was like a Secret Santa gift, but spatula, bears, and also a bottle
And this
opener.
is not
we have other bottle openers. I just grabbed
this
one, just being extra with it, but
pop.
Perfect.
So actually, guys, like please try this and let us know what you think. There's different flavors of them, but our favorites is always pineapple. It's like our go-to flavor. And we had these at City Works. It was like the cider that we loved getting whenever we went to City Works. And then they let us know that they actually have them at Binny's. So
yep.
Binny's.
Cheers.
I feel weird because it looks like a beer bottle, but
it's like it's delicious. It's so good.
It's so good. And I'm not a beer drinker, so
yeah. And these cider, it's just like
it doesn't taste like it.
Like
it doesn't
juice.
taste. Yeah.
But yes, really good. So we're gonna drink this while we have our awesome topic for today, and it's fitting because we're gonna talk about kind of like childhood memories, events, things that have kind of stood out. But we kind of did like a childhood experience this past weekend.
Yeah.
Going back to Six Flags Great America in Gurnee for Fright Fest. So
dang, we're giving out our location. Do you remember like when the internet back in the day, it's like you don't want to say your location, you don't want to say last name, you wouldn't even want to put your first name on stuff. You would do like a fake name.
I definitely put my name on everything.
Really?
I remember I put my resume out there, had my address and everything. And I'm like, oh
no, but that was recent because I remember telling you like, I don't think you should just put your address out like that.
I think that's how they wanted us to do that when you're sending it out to media companies, but then you also put it online. It's like, now everyone knows where I live.
That's not good. But I meant when we were younger.
Yes, yeah. But
anyways,
Six Flags, in Gurnee.
Six Flags.
If you look it up, it's there. But yeah, we went for Fright Fest, and of course we go on a day. Again, it was raining earlier in the day. It said it was supposed to stop raining at the times we were gonna go enjoy the night.
Yeah.
And of course, the weather was wrong, as it usually is.
Yeah, so we went. We really wanted to go to Fright Fest just because it's been really long. So on top of just not having been to Six Flags in a long time, like Fright Fest is something that I felt like I always did. Growing up, once I had my season pass, like I loved going, and it was always so scary. And I think even as an adult, it can be kind of scary. So we're like, what do we want to do that's not a haunted house, because I can't do haunted houses. Also, not scary movies. I don't like scary movies. So it's like I wanted something that would give me like the Halloween fun spirit without being like too crazy. And I love rides.
Yeah, so do I. I really love rides. I love seeing people get scared from the people who dress up in costumes and kind of walking through the park. And, I was down to kind of do a haunted house there or somewhere else. But we made it work at Six Flags. Again, it was raining a little bit, but we still got a bunch of rides.
A little bit?
It wasn't like downpouring crazy.
It was raining. It wasn't like, not
actually
crazy,
at the end,
but it was cold and rainy the whole time. I'm like, of course. And it just kind of added to like the spookiness of it a little bit.
Yeah, it was very fitting for a Halloween Midwest kind of, vibes.
Yeah.
So it worked out. It was a fun time. We got on a bunch of rides. The Viper, Raging Bull. What else did we get on? The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight. We did one of the new ones, Joker. Did you say that one already?
Oh, the Joker, yeah. So it's newer, but yeah. So
would you say the rides are scarier than you remember or the same as you remember?
I kept saying on every one that they felt faster. Like the Raging Bull, the Draw, like, man, this is still fast. Like the Viper, that thing is like crickety, and it's like, it's still, I don't know, it just felt fast, and it's been a while since we went, right?
It's been a while, yeah. But I personally felt like, I don't know, maybe we're just getting older, but I thought I felt every single drop so much more. And when I was a kid, it was always just like the big drop, I can feel it, but then the little ones, not so much. This one, I just wanted to like curl up into a ball every drop because I can feel it so much.
There's this little like boat ride that they have in Southwest Territory. And it's funny just watching the guys' faces as like all it does is go back up and down, up and down. You can just feel it like just in the bowels of your body, and if you see the guy's face, you're like, oh, and then you see the other side. Oh, it's hilarious to watch, but
just the guys, you said,
like I felt it again, but it was fun. Six Flags, so many great memories, and
it was fun going on rides with you.
Yeah, it's always look. Six Flags is a fun time.
It is. It's really fun.
I like Six Flags, and I always there's like a basketball game there that I would always play. I didn't do it this time, but I would always do that. A funnel cake. I think the last time we went, we got a funnel cake.
You know what I didn't realize is how many restaurants Six Flags actually has, because growing up when we had season passes, if you go there, like it's a lot to be buying like a meal every time we were going, since we went really often. Mm-hmm. So we would leave the park and go to Burger King across the street and then come back in. So now going back again, I'm like, I didn't even realize how many restaurants are here just because I never even looked at it. I never bought food from there.
Same here. When I used to get dropped off by my parents when I was younger at the drop off, never would, buy stuff in the park.
Yeah.
And we didn't really go to the Burger King all too much, but sometimes if we did stay or someone drove, we'd make sandwiches, go out to the car, go back into the park and hang out. But it's funny, like I think I was talking to the woman who cuts my hair, Yuritsa. She was talking about like, yeah, we used to leave Six Flags all the time, go to BK, then go back and
that's
just
the way
spend
to
the whole
do
day
it.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But kind of wrap up the conversation on Six Flags, but also get into like our other stuff. You have something.
Yeah, one more thing I wanted to say, just because it reminded me.
Huh.
It really felt like we were kids because your dad dropped us off.
Oh yeah, yeah. My dad was like, "Hey," or I forgot if it was my mom or dad. They're like, "Do you want us?" Because we were at my parents, and they're like, "Do you want us to drop you off? It's like $30 for parking." And I'm like, "I forgot about parking."
Yeah.
And it's like, sure, why
Because it's
not?
close to your
Yeah,
parents'
it's
house.
like it's really close to my parents' house, so they
That was
dropped us
so
off at
funny.
the drop off, and we walked over to the park.
I felt like I was in like middle school going on a date with my boyfriend.
Yeah, that's that's exactly what it felt like, and that's how it was.
That's
so
funny.
it kind of like full circle moment
Yeah,
there at
full
Six
circle.
Flags. But again, to kind of cap off one of my best memories at Six Flags, because we're talking about it. I remember one time I went with my cousins, and we never used to do the arcade games. Like that was you're not there to play arcade games. You're there to get on all the rides.
Yeah.
We went in there for whatever reason, kind of just waiting to get picked up. And I ended up winning a Nintendo DS off a little, like, there's these little, it's like a grid, and there's blocks, and you have to stack all the blocks all the way up until where it says winner, and then press a button that stops the blocks in order to keep stacking them up. Got it there, winner, the sirens going off and stuff, and my biggest thing is, like, I just wanted to pick the right prize. I wanted the Nintendo DS, but... You know, there was like 2 buttons. One I think was to like, you press it to select what you want, and then you press select. I was so nervous I was going to pick like some random prize that would have sucked. I ended up picking the DS. It dropped down. I never had like dogs at the time. Got Nintendogs. Was take care of those dogs. I was on cloud 9 after I won that Nintendo DS. So
that is
awesome.
such a good prize. Like, that's only going to happen once.
Yeah, that wasn't going to ever happen again. So it happened at the right time, and...
Did you go home
awesome.
right after that?
Yep, went right home, and it came with one game, so oof, it was awesome.
Yeah. Imagine... No, I wouldn't even want to risk it. Like, losing it after I won. Like, I got to get picked up now.
Oh, yeah. I think I was, like, a little paranoid. Like, people know I won this. I got to get out of this park. This is up, you know.
That was your lotto ticket right there.
Yeah, that was. So I got it, and I was good to go.
That's actually so funny. You're so dramatic.
Hey, it was I don't know if it was expensive at the time or if it was even that new.
No, that's a great prize to win. Especially for a kid. Like, that's amazing. I would have been so jealous if I was with you. Like,
wow, I think my older cousin had the older version of the DS, and then I got that one,
the new one.
But I think more so than anything, they're just happy that I won it, because then I could play the game that they were playing. So I was like, let's go.
That's so sweet. Would you say that's like what you ended up playing for a lot of your childhood? DS. Well, you probably had.
I had the PlayStation game too. I had literally everything.
Okay.
At one point, so.
See, I mean, my brother had a PlayStation, but we didn't have any games that we liked playing together. It was always like, can I get on Spider-Man and just like spin around for a little bit? Oh, yeah.
The new game comes out Friday. Mm-hmm. I'll be playing that on Friday while you're out your girls' night.
Okay.
I'll be inside playing video games.
That's fine.
Little nerd, but.
But yeah, no, I remember like the one thing that I played a lot was computer games.
Oh yeah, that
like,
too.
When my family got their first computer, it was set up in my brother's room, and I could not wait to get back home from school and get on and just play like Club Penguin.
Was there something like Roger Rabbit or something? No, is that a cartoon?
Reader Rabbit?
Something like that.
But those are like the learning games you would play at school, right?
I think so. We had them there too at my house.
Oh,
playing a little Reader Rabbit game.
That's so
pinball.
cute.
Pinball was a lot of fun. Used to play like the virtual pinball on the computer. Yeah, those are fun.
I used to get on Club Penguin and just play all the mini games that they had.
What was that?
Club Penguin?
Club Penguin?
Are you kidding me?
I don't. Maybe I have to see it to know it, but I don't think that's like ringing a bell.
Oh my gosh, it was a really cool. Okay, I know nothing about games. It was just like a cool game, kind of, where you can get on, and you were a penguin. You got to name your penguin, choose your color. You can buy certain outfits if you got enough points and stuff. Okay. And you would kind of just like talk to other penguins, because everyone was like you were your penguin. You can go up to other people and talk to them. You can play games with them, like racing games, or you can get on and play like Mancala together. Is that what it's called?
Mancala? Yeah, that one game.
Mm-hmm. You can like say, go meet me at the coffee shop or whatever, and you would go, and like there was different areas you could hang out in, and then every single area had different games. It's weird. I'm gonna have to show you.
So
is it even a thing?
Sounds like what's that? Sims?
Yeah, kind of
but
like
you're a
that.
penguin.
But you're a penguin, and you have an igloo. You can buy pets, and those two, like you can get a pet. I think they were called Puffles or something like that. And you had to like make sure to feed them, otherwise they would run away.
Wow, they're like, I ain't getting fed. I'm out.
Yeah, but I liked playing those type of games.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I definitely have not played that game, but
I don't think it's a thing anymore. Otherwise, I would show you.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Yeah. I kind of want to go back now that we're talking about this and see if I can find the games that I used to like playing on the computer.
I'm sure you can find them somewhere.
You think so?
Yeah, they're all saved somewhere. Like, they're all there.
Oh, okay. You didn't play computer games like that?
Oh, and then we also had, like, again, PlayStation, GameCube. I think maybe when we were at school, and not like the Reader Rabbit crap we just talked about, like actual like games where, I don't know, like I remember, like you were a little stick figure trying to avoid these shards of glass that were falling.
I remember that.
You just use the directionals to avoid them, and if you didn't avoid them, like your limbs were getting cut off until you're like nothing but nothing.
I think that was called like Ragdoll something.
Something like that. I remember playing things like that.
Oh my gosh. You just brought back a memory. It was called I forget. Okay, I really don't know what it's called. Someone leave it in the comments if they remember. But I think it was in that same website where you can play those types of games. There was one where you were just controlling the arrows and you were going through like a field of different cubes.
Cubes. Okay.
Yeah, it was just cubes coming and you had to just avoid all of them. And then they would get faster and faster and faster.
I don't remember. I mean, maybe I played it. If it was on that one video game site where there was like thousands of games, probably. But
it's going to bother me. It's going to bother me that I don't know what this website is called and that game.
But that was a part. So video games are part of our childhood. As we're kind of talking more and more about it.
Yeah. You know what I was going to say? I was going to say that guys, I feel like when they like something as a kid, it's very common for them to continue liking it even like as an adult. Whereas for me or my friends, I just feel like we could like anything when we were younger and we're not going to collect the cards when we're older or still buy the dolls or whatever it may be.
I think that's pretty accurate because I know myself, I'm wearing a freaking Spider-Man hoodie. I still really like Spider-Man. Whether it's the video games, actual character in the movies, there's a lot of even Spider-Man in the office here that we're recording in.
Yeah.
A lot of the anime that I used to watch, like Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, like I still think Dragon Ball Z is cool. I don't watch it anymore, but I have a T-shirt of it.
Yeah.
Like it's still cool. I know a lot of like the Bears players, obviously younger guys, they like all that stuff too. Like I get it. Like you don't. For me, they were like kind of icons growing up.
Yeah.
Like I know they were fake fictional characters, but I still really like. I looked up to some of these like characters and like, yeah, they're really cool and they're still cool. And so that's why again I'm rocking like a Spider-Man hoodie right now. So I could see that for guys especially, like holding on and wanting to not let your childhood completely go away, but still incorporate it somehow into, your more adult life.
Why do you think that is, though?
We just have cooler characters. I mean, like, who wants a Bratz doll? Well, Barbie's a thing now, though. Like, I mean,
yeah,
Barbie was, like, obviously way back when you're younger.
For sure.
Now it's like a huge,
but it kind of had
movie.
like a comeback, right? Like Barbie came back out and it makes us all feel like nostalgic, but it has a deeper message and not necessarily like, oh my gosh, like I want to go get that Barbie again. At least for me,
Maybe for some people it does. But
maybe for some people.
Yeah, no doubt. It definitely has that. I don't know. We just like to... I think a lot of people still... Like when you're a kid... It's okay to like value those things, and you still are this. You're still a more mature version of that your younger self.
Yeah.
Right, and you want to have those characters around still. Like, that's okay. You wouldn't let me take my Spider-Man picture though.
What Spider-Man picture?
Still at my parents' house. I'm gonna take it. And I'm gonna hang it up on my side of the office.
Fine. You can do whatever you want to do to your side of the office.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, it kind of reminded me of this quote I saw once that was saying, like, even when you're 21, you're also 11, you're also 12. You're still all the years that came before that. Mm. And I guess it's true because, I don't know, like, as an adult, you can still find joy in the things you liked when you were younger, and you can let your inner child out, and you still find, you know, like, fun in some of the things you found before. So I do think that's true, but I do think for guys, I think it shows a little bit more than for the girls.
I think so too, and I think that a lot of the things that, again, maybe, you know, can continue this, like, Spider-Man's like a huge motion picture. Like, it's a cool, like, big movie now.
Yeah. And,
like, a bunch of different characters have played that specific role. And so it hasn't, like, died down to just, like...
That's true.
Like, you know, action figures or cartoons. It is live action. There's, you know, Tom Holland's playing Spider-Man. So it's like, I guess... I don't know. There's different levels to it.
Well, that's actually really true, because when you're a kid, you probably just see him as like a cool character. Like, what kid doesn't want to be Spider-Man or dress up as Spider-Man, right? Mm-hmm. But then as you get older, you understand the storyline, and it's something that kind of like grows with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Or you grow with it, you know?
And you know what? I've actually just always liked spiders too. So like, it's just a natural, like, connection for me to like a character like that.
For me, it was, you know what, like, I didn't even really like dolls.
None?
I mean, I like them, but I wasn't, I don't know, I didn't really play with as many dolls. I really like stuffed animals.
Oh.
Like, it's a big stuffed animal girl.
What are those things called that are now Beanie Babies? No?
I had like, one Beanie Baby.
We had a couple of them growing up.
Probably worth some money now.
If they're in mint condition, maybe. But I know that's a big thing. A lot of people collect Beanie Babies and sell those for dinero.
Yeah. No, I didn't even, you know, try to collect those or anything. I just liked whatever stuffed animal I thought was cute. I wanted it. And I had a bunk bed.
Had a bunk bed, yep.
I had a bunk bed, but no one stayed there. It was just like I slept at the bottom.
Okay.
And then the top one was just for my stuffed animals.
They got their own little bed.
They had their own bed.
Hanging out, chilling at the top.
And I remember whenever we would have people over, I was like, okay, I got to go reorganize the stuffed animals.
Make sure they're good. Hey, how you doing up here? You need something?
Yeah. Or I would make one of them the leader. Actually, it was my Beanie Baby. Just because she had some weight to her, you know? It's a little beanie. So I would... This is so embarrassing. I can't believe I'm saying this. This is obviously when I was very young. If we were leaving somewhere... Mm-hmm. For a few days or going on vacation, I'd be like, Softy. That was her name, by the way.
Softy, okay.
You're in charge of everyone.
Make sure they're in line. Make sure no one moves, gets rowdy up here.
Yeah.
Softy.
She was a little Christmas Beanie Baby.
What kind of animal?
A bear.
Oh, a bear?
Mm-hmm.
Softy bear.
Weren't they all bears?
No.
No?
Mm-mm. Like, I had a lizard Beanie Baby.
Oh.
Yeah, they came in all shapes and sizes and animals.
Oh.
So yeah, different things. Okay.
I feel like I haven't taken any sips.
I'm like almost done.
What?
Because these are so good.
How did you do that?
It's delicious. Like, I can honestly keep drinking this. Ace, you know where to find us at Couples Coverage, YouTube and Spotify. I didn't even say okay, before we kind of get more into memories and stuff, like, subscribe to the podcast. We're on YouTube, we're on TikTok. Didn't even put that up at the top, but appreciate you all for listening and watching and downloading and subscribing and reposting videos or whatever it is that you do. Appreciate you.
Yes.
But as we're kind of talking more and more about, like, of our childhood memories that kind of stand out, I know one for me that I'll kind of one just never forget, and even to this day, I like and can remember it vividly. Take you back to my 5th grade class.
Do I know this story?
Yes, because I kind of just said it earlier before we went live.
Okay.
But so 5th grade, I was in a class where we would always be the main students that would be in the school plays. Didn't matter if we wanted to or not. We were the class, and if other classes wanted to join, they could, but it was going to be our class. And
in 5th grade, you said?
5th grade.
Okay.
And everyone knew that if you got this teacher, his name was Mr. Figs, you were going to be in the play at some point. So it's like, oh boy, hope you don't get him. End up getting him. It was actually really beneficial in the end. But Christmas play. This is the big one. This is the moneymaker of all plays, the longest script, everything. And for the Christmas play, we needed somebody to play Joseph in the play. And like we all knew, like if you're doing this, like that script was fat. Like it would cause a lot of stress during what should be non-stressful time during Christmas time. But my teacher's up at the front of the room. He's saying, we need a Joseph. Someone needs to do it. Who's going to do it? They already had all the other characters planned out. And I remember I just looked around the classroom. Looking. I could see the fear in everybody's eyes, including my own. I can feel it. And I just stood up, I'll do it. And then the rest of the class starts clapping because they're like, yes, that sucker is going to be Joseph. He's going to have to do it. And I'm going to have to be the one that knows all these lines. Mm-hmm. But it was kind of cool, like having everyone clap. And again, were they clapping because they weren't going to be Joseph, or were they clapping because they're like, someone did it? I was thinking that
they were hyping you up. Like, yeah. No backing down now.
I was doing it. And then I remember getting the script. I'm like, oh my God. And my mom, like, she picked me up. And I remember looking through and like, I'm never going to remember this. But, you know, obviously I learned each and every line and was able to go through it. And we performed the play multiple times, like during every lunch period for the underclassmen that would go for their lunch period. So these kids are like eating their lunch, probably not caring what the play that's happening. You know, I'm performing my heart out, trying to remember these lines. They're eating their pizza that comes in little aluminum foil trays and eating, and then whatever. So crazy moment. I remember I got, after everything was done, all the plays were done, which I think we performed throughout the week, if I remember that correctly. But our teacher took us to Old Country Buffet. Aww. That was the first time I think I had ever been to a buffet. I was like, wow, look at all this food. So, yeah, crazy little moment. But it was really cool doing that because, one, it taught me how to, at like a young age, manage time, just to have the skills to remember things, delivery.
Also just being brave enough to perform it.
Yeah, that too. But then I was like, I'm performing in front of like 4th graders, 3rd graders. Like, I'm the upperclassman because our grade school is 1 through 5th grade. So I was at the top, but still you had to perform. And then I think some of the other 5th grade classes also saw it too, but yeah, that was
you little star.
I know. I think I was in a couple other plays too, but that was my shining moment right there, where I was the lead role.
I would love to be able to just see that. If anyone has that recorded.
I don't think anyone does. That's unfortunate. That was Oscar worthy. Right? Is it Oscar?
Yeah.
What's a Golden Globe?
Don't ask me about this. I have no idea.
I don't know. Whatever.
Oh, that's cute though, babe.
Thank you. Yeah, it was
See, I was always too shy to perform.
What were you telling me before? The little puppets?
Yeah, in 2nd grade, we used to have like performance charts, and then at the end of the week, if you had a good performance, you got to choose something out of a treasure box. And of course, I always wanted to, because I always wanted to choose a prize. So I was always choosing these little puppets. And so throughout the weeks, I was just collecting them. They were little finger puppets. And then my teacher, this is in 1st grade, called me up and told me that she wanted to tell me something, but that I couldn't tell anyone yet. And she was saying that she ordered a puppet stage for us. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the right term is, but she bought a class one so that we can have puppet shows and stuff. And I was so excited because I really wanted to, but I was too shy to perform. So when it came in, the class was so excited. People were coming up with different plays and asking friends to be in their plays that they were going to do. And I never ended up doing it.
So wait, the little puppet like performance. I mean, it would just literally be your fingers that are performing, and then you like have a little commentary.
Yeah.
Little...
Well, those are the ones I was collecting just from her like treasure box. But with the play set that she got, it came with hand puppets.
Oh, so you just did not want to do the little hand puppets.
I just didn't want to. I was too shy to do it.
Do you feel like after that, like not performing, not even though you wanted to do it, like you said, but you couldn't, do you feel like you've gotten better at doing things even though it could make you a little uncomfortable?
Yeah, I would say so. I feel like for me, in thinking back to like middle school, middle school, I hated presentations. Hated presentation days. I would literally sometimes during presentation days, I would just hide in the bathroom. I wouldn't go to class. I would hide in the bathroom until next period.
Wow.
And I would eventually have to do it, but I would push it off for as long as possible. Hated presentations. It would make me nauseous. And I know that's, it's a common fear for people to have, like just fear of public speaking.
Yeah.
But I just remember how much it affected me in middle school because I couldn't do it. And I remember when I did do it and the class was talking, I was like, okay, perfect. I'll do it now and no one's paying attention. And I would try to get my presentation out as quick as possible. And the teacher would pause the class and be like, hey, guys, like, let's be respectful here.
Stephanie's about to present.
And I hated that attention. Like, I'm like, no, please. Like, let me just do it while everyone's talking. I don't want, like, the eyes on me. And so going into high school, I remember telling myself, like, I don't want to have this fear anymore. I'm going to do whatever it takes to like not be scared to public speak. So I remember when we went to go choose electives for high school, I put myself in drama.
Wow.
Because I'm like, I need to get over this fear, which is like, presenting something and then going to like acting in front of the class. I was terrified all summer long and I thought about dropping out or just like getting rid of that class all summer, but I stopped myself. And then I did it. I did drama. I think freshman. Actually, I think I did all of high school.
That's really good that you saw something that you wanted to fix and you did it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of people just turn the other way, turn the cold shoulder, and it's like, yeah, I don't want to face those fears, and that's okay. I don't have to choose this selective so I can avoid it. But you did the exact opposite. So
yeah,
really proud of you, baby.
Thank you.
All. I wish I would have done the play or something like that in high school, but I was, I cared too much what people would have thought. Like, oh, Nick's in the play. Like I played football, and I don't know. I think I let too much. I was thinking way too much about it to even.
Yeah.
I didn't do it. So. Oh well, but
no, that's true though. It's because people are like judgmental, and I don't know. You get like stereotyped. And kids are mean. Honestly, kids are super mean. Even when I was thinking about stories for this podcast or this episode, I was like, oh my gosh, like we sucked when we were in middle school. Even sometimes in high school, I'm just like, ugh, like kids can be mean.
Yeah, and social media definitely doesn't help. But I completely agree. Again, that was the reason why I didn't want to even explore something like that, because I just oh, what are people gonna think? Like, don't think like that. Whatever you want to do it. Like
whatever you do, if you do it with enough confidence, like you literally can do anything.
Again, if you just do it because you want to, that's perfectly fine too. And maybe you're not confident at first, but shoot, I wish I would have played more sports in high school, did all this stuff. But yeah, if you have an interest in it, explore it. Then if you don't like it, you could say you did it.
Yeah.
It's like you just don't want to have like those regrets.
Yeah.
Right? So,
definitely.
No doubt. Before we actually continue our conversation here, I think we got to tell everybody about our good partnership that we have with Owen, which stands for Only What You Need. And let me tell you, we got a shipment of Owen products. Just yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. So you want to hold that one up, babe? we have two of the Owen protein shakes that we got. I have the plant-based, of course, sea salted caramel, 32 grams of protein. This is a newer one. They have this one in 20, but now they upgraded to 32 grams. I literally cannot wait to have this tomorrow because I love the 20 grams protein, but I just need a little bit more sometimes. So got 32 grams. And you just had the pumpkin spice earlier today for the first time. How was that?
I loved it. I texted you. I really, really love this. Okay, so I know I mentioned not that long ago that I haven't had a lot of pumpkin spice stuff. And this week I have. But so far, this is my favorite pumpkin spice anything that I've had.
Well, I mean, I haven't had it yet because, like I said, we literally just got this huge shipment yesterday. We also got... the coffee ones too?
Double shot.
Double shot. They have 20 grams of protein, but also you need that caffeine boost. They have those, but you can check out Owen and everything that they have to offer. And look, Owen shakes are they are plant-based protein shakes. All Owen products are vegan, gluten-free, and top 8 allergen-friendly. So if you're looking for a new protein shake, something that only has what you need, which is what Owen stands for, you got to try it, whether it's the pre-made shakes, the powders, the meal supplements, the double shots. They have it all. So we just want to say thank you to Owen for hooking us up yesterday and really supplying us for a good amount of time. But you can get supplied too, and all you have to do, go to liveowen.com and stack up your cart and then use the code CC15 at checkout. You save 15% off your first order. So stock up on pumpkin spice, sea salted caramel. I still like dark chocolate a lot, so you can add all those to your cart. Use CC15, save 15% off your first order, and then a little bit of that will come back to us. So you're getting your protein, helping us out here at Couples Coverage. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. Go check it out, Owen CC15, and you'll be good to go. Boom.
Thanks, Owen.
Owen. All right, babe. What else do we have?
So
where do we want to go?
I have one funny story that I wrote down.
A funny story. Where does this story take place?
So
where in your life?
This is from 6th grade. So I remember middle school. I think now it's a lot more common for people in middle school, maybe even elementary, to have phones. Mm-hmm. But growing up, I didn't have a phone until sophomore year of high school. So it took me a long time because I remember all of my friends in middle school had one at that point.
Yeah, I think I had one in 7th grade, only because my uncle worked at a Motorola store, so he got all the phones. Had a Razor.
Oh, you were a cool kid.
Oh yeah, I knew it too.
It's so annoying. Anyways, okay, yeah. So I didn't have a phone, and one of my best friends still, Brandon. Shout out to Brandon. I don't know if he watches, but
he better watch now.
I'm gonna tell him that he's mentioned on this episode. But he had a phone, and he would let me borrow it. I don't know why in the world he would let me borrow it, but he would literally let me borrow it all day long. I don't know who I was texting or what I was even doing, but I would always ask him, like, can I borrow your phone for the day?
What? That's such a funny concept now.
And he would let me. He would literally let me. So there was one time in 6th grade where remember we were in gym class and I was back in the locker rooms. We were changing and I got to class. And when I got to class, I realized I didn't have his phone with me. Uh-oh. I was like, oh my gosh. So I was like, I must have left it in the locker rooms because we were just changing. So I literally got up. This is right before that next period started. So I ran out and I ran all the way to the locker rooms and I went to where I changed and it was gone. And I was so terrified because I'm like, what am I going to tell him? What am I going to tell him? How am I going to find this phone? Because in middle school, 100% someone just took it, Yeah, they see a phone, they're just going to take it.
Taking it.
So I went back to class. I had to tell him, I'm so sorry. I left your phone in the locker room and I don't, it wasn't there anymore. I just ran and checked and it's not there anymore. So of course our friend group starts texting the number and starts threatening.
Yeah. Yep. I knew it. We used to do that too.
You did?
Yeah, like I think my phone got stolen, and I had every one of my friends like, we're gonna find you. We're gonna get this phone back. You're being tracked. Blah blah blah. Never got the phone.
Yeah, someone's gonna fight you. Yeah. So I remember, like, I don't even know exactly what people were sending to this phone. I didn't have a phone at the time, so I couldn't text it. I just told people, like, please keep texting this number. And I remember someone else in the class, like, sent her a threat, maybe saying, like, someone said they saw you take it, like, we know who you are, you better leave it in the office the next day. And that night I felt so horrible. Like, I felt horrible that we left that day without getting this phone back. I thought about it like all night, and I was just like praying that it was in the office the next morning, and thank gosh it was. Like, we scared this girl enough to return it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I wonder how they would have ever found out though if they never brought the phone to school.
Oh, there's no way. I don't even think like tracking was as accurate back then.
No, for sure. It definitely wasn't. That's crazy. Yeah. No, we used to do the same thing. I remember, oh my God, I'm so pissed. I went to go play basketball with my buddies after school, like we normally do. We play basketball for hours. I literally had just gotten a new phone. I can't even remember what kind of phone it was. I think I had already transitioned like to Samsungs and got a new Samsung phone. I had that thing for 5 days. Left it in my gym bag, and then we were playing a basketball game. And then like I go to check, nothing. And then we see these kids run out, and I book it, and they were already gone. And I remember texting, like having all my friends text the phone, like, I can't believe I just, one, I lost it. I was thinking that in my mind, but I'm having everyone's text, like the phone, like, hey, we know where you are, blah, blah. I think they had shut it off and, probably sold it or whatever. But yeah, that was definitely a thing.
Yeah.
Having people stealing phones, and
that's a big, yeah. You know what? Actually, that just reminded me of another story. Same thing with Brandon. Brandon, you crack me up. So, there was one time where he sat behind me. He was sitting behind me. We used to always sit together. And then we go out to the next period, and he starts telling me, like, hey, I can't find my phone. Someone stole my phone. And we tell the teacher, and the teacher's like, no one's leaving this room. I'm going to have security come check everyone's bags. And security starts to come over, and they're starting to like check people's like backpacks or pockets or whatever. And then Brandon's like, oh my gosh. And he goes over to me and he pulls it out of my hoodie, because he said when he was sitting behind me in class, he forgot, he just like dropped it in there and forgot that he put it there.
You didn't feel any weight on the hood?
No, because it was a tiny phone. I don't know. I did not feel it at all. But I'm like, what if I got searched and they found it on me?
That'd be hilarious.
And then like he thinks, well, no, obviously he's the one who put it in there. But I just thought that was so funny. I'm like, you almost got me in trouble and you put it in there.
Wow. That's hilarious, because I mean, that would have been like, ma'am, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, what literally is that? That wasn't me.
Yeah.
That's really funny though.
I know. It's just
so
funny
what did
that
he just say, like, to the security guard, oh, I found it?
Yeah. He just found it. I think he said, like, I don't even think they saw him do that. He was just like, okay, I found it. And then they like left or whatever. But I just remember when he walked up to me and pulled it out of my hoodie, I was so confused. I was like, what's
going on here? Wow. And you said that was what grade was that in?
It must have been 6th or 7th grade.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Quick thing for me in 7th grade. Going into 7th grade, my uncle had made a bet with me, and I never had like long hair or anything, but I've always had like shorter hair or whatever. But I think it was like the summer from 6th grade going into 7th grade. I'll give you $5 if you don't cut your hair. I'm like, ooh, okay, $5. All right, sure. So I think it was the whole entire summer, because by the time 7th grade, like, yearbook pictures came, and those always came usually in the beginning of the year. Long hair, and I'll probably put a picture in here
Oh, you're gonna do it?
Down to like my shoulder, my neck here, where grew out my hair. That's where I first started like really starting to play like flag football and starting getting into football. Grew like the whole Justin Bieber, Zac Efron type of look there. But it all stemmed from just a $5 bet that my uncle made with me, saying, "Oh, you won't cut your hair," and it's like, "You're right, I won't." $5. And actually, I thought it was ended up being like an all right look at the time because I know a lot of guys were just doing that, growing out their hair, and I remember that year too, like playing flag football. First year playing, I was the center, so I would. In flag football, when you hike the ball, so I would hike it, but you can still run routes and catch. So I was a center for our Philadelphia Eagles flag football team that ended up winning the championship that year. I remember the very first play, though. Championship game, I was a nervous wreck. I remember I had these pants that were thermal, but I cut them into shorts, so they were the baggiest, thickest shorts like you had ever seen. So you see this long-haired, weird, short thermal things going.
Oh, we need a picture of this.
I know. I'll definitely put it in here. But I remember I hiked the ball. It was the very first play of the championship game. Hiked it, ran a 7-yard out route, caught the ball. I'm like, oh yeah. Could not play the rest of the game. Had to go in the back. Threw up. I was so nervous.
You threw up?
I threw up in the garbage can. I was so nervous after catching the ball, and I didn't play the rest of the game, and we won the championship.
No.
But I caught the first pass. I contributed, and that was it. I cannot. That was crazy. But
dang, you were really nervous then.
Yeah, it was.
You just felt like a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and like that was my first year ever playing, and like there was a
When
lot.
was
of,
this?
This was 7th grade.
Oh, 7th grade.
This
You're
was
a
my
baby.
first year ever playing like football in any way. But yeah, a lot of the other kids had played already, like a year or so. So that was my first year, and I couldn't handle the pressure, guys. It was just too much for me, and it was a learning moment for sure. And yeah, we won though. So
that's so funny.
That happened 7th grade.
Aww.
7th grade. One time.
Yeah, and now I just picture you with that long hair, and I felt like so many guys went through that, like rocker skater phase.
Yeah, I used to have a gym teacher. It must have been 7th grade when I had the long hair, and he was a bald guy. He was really cool though. He's a big Bears fan. We would always talk about the Bears like during gym class. But one of my friends was like, "Hey, you should go up to Mr. Berman and just shake your head."
That's so mean.
But he was super cool. Like I never did it like maliciously to make like, look at me, Mr. Berman, I have all this hair and you don't. But they're like, Nick, just go up there and shake your head. You're like, and then just like, yeah. And then he would just shake his head at me like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't even know, but
God.
Stupid.
That's funny. Dang, we're like name dropping all these teachers.
Yeah. I remember seeing my...
Shout out to all the Waukegan high school teachers.
Yeah.
Oh, no, high school teachers in general.
Yeah, teachers in general. They have very tough jobs.
Do you think you could... Not that you have to, because maybe that would take a while, but do you think you could name all your teachers?
I would need some time to like write it down, but my first grade teacher was Miss Lawhead.
No,
Miss
we're not
Fox,
going to say
Miss
them.
Franklin, Miss Slobodnik, Miss Thomas, Mr. Figs. That's 1 through 5th. 1st through 5th.
Oh.
And then like 6th and 7th grade, don't you have multiple teachers?
Yeah, and then it gets hard to remember everyone.
Yeah.
I remember like specific ones, but
boom,
not all of them.
1st through 5th grade though.
I can probably do that too, but I won't. Okay.
Yeah, that was it.
Should we do... I want to share one of my favorite stories that you've told me, but I think I'll save it to the end.
One of your favorite stories that I told you about me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a really cute one, but maybe I'll save that one for the end. But I do want to go into high school, and
Okay.
I don't really feel like there's like a ton of stories that really stick out to me, but one thing that I did do in high school was that I sold candy.
You were one of those people. So
Yeah.
candy.
Isn't that so funny? That was like for sure such a
But what was that
different
for?
time. So I know I started doing it on my own to save enough money to go to like one of the big trips,
Yeah.
which sounds so funny to me now. I think that's so like, oh, like you're still such a kid.
Yeah.
Like I
candy.
couldn't work because I think I did it in either freshman or sophomore year, but that's when I was still like 17. I couldn't drive, so I couldn't get like a job yet.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I started working until my junior year. But anyways, point is, yes, I did like door to door, like asking people if they wanted something, and then I think we also had people come in and give you those brochures where it's like sell like this Christmas brochure, like send it to your mom, have her take it to work or whatever it was, and I just wanted the prizes at the back. Yep, but I'm like, why? I was literally in high school. Why did I want these like funny prizes that were in the back?
I remember. Yeah, no, I remember getting those brochures and be like, "Ooh, there's some really cool prizes back here." Okay, so this quickly reminds me of here in high school. I was in kindergarten when this happened. Oh, I named that was my kindergarten teacher. Whatever. But I remember taffy apples.
Like that's the one I wanted to share.
Oh.
I love this story. It's so cute.
Yeah. So, okay. I guess I'm telling you right now because, yeah, like you would have your, whoever, maybe your parents, relatives, place orders for taffy apples because, that would be a thing at a certain point throughout the year. And my family, look, it was a big box at the time, but I still think it's a big box now. But we order maybe 25, 30 taffy apples in this box. And I remember it was just so heavy. And it was just so heavy. It was at the end of the day. Like, my teacher calls me over, like, this is for you, Nick. This is your box. And I'm like, okay. Me carrying this big box of taffy apples. And I remember one of my classmates, they asked me, like, hey, could I get a taffy apple? You have so many in there. I'm like, not thinking like people bought these taffy apples. Like, sure, yeah, you can have one. And then everybody, like one person asks and see that. Yeah. And then everybody starts asking. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's going to make it lighter for me. Going to make the box lighter. So everybody's getting taffy apples. And I don't think anyone said anything. And so close it back up. And then
you're
get
like,
back.
Oh, it's so much better. I can carry this so much easier.
It's easy. And then I put it on the table, and it's like multiple family. My aunts, uncles, my parents are all there. It's at nighttime too. And they open it. They're like, and they read like how much you're supposed to be in here. They're like, where are all the taffy apples? And I'm like, oh, I gave them away. I gave them away to everybody. They're like, what? Why? Like, people asked that it was too heavy at the time.
Oh, that is so stinking cute. I remember when he first told me this, I'm just picturing like little Nick, like, of course, it's going to make it easier to carry.
Yeah, of course. I mean, what am I going to do with all these taffy apples?
That is so funny.
And then what? You brought like a taffy apple like 2 weeks ago?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I bought
it
for you.
That sparked that memory again, which I'll never forget about.
That is such a cute story. They weren't mad at you? Were they mad at you?
I think my Uncle Peachy, I think he was pretty mad at me. He's the one who got me into football, but he's like, why did I pay for these taffy apples and now you don't have?
Oh, that's so funny.
Dang.
Well, actually, you know what? I do remember when I would do like the door-to-door stuff. I remember thinking like, not everyone's going to buy something. Yeah. So in my head, I'm like, oh, I don't have to write down their address because like I'll remember this house. Like I'll remember they're the guy that bought the peanuts or whatever. And then you wouldn't get those orders until like months later. Oh. And then when it came time to like return them, I was like, oh my gosh, which house was it? I was like knocking on multiple doors. Like, did you order peanuts from me?
Did you order peanuts like 3 months ago? 3 months ago. Like you must have ordered peanuts.
Oh gosh, that was so funny.
That's hilarious. Oh man, stuff we do as kids.
I know, but I wonder if those are even a thing anymore because you can just go to the store and get anything that's on those brochures.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, door to door selling whatever. But
like
you're not,
wrapping paper.
yeah,
Chocolates,
random
like
stuff.
yeah, the most random stuff. And maybe some people did it just to like help the cause.
Support,
yeah, but I just thought it was so funny. And the stuff looked good. Like it always looked good.
Oh, always
but
like the best.
For sure overpriced. And for sure a lot of work because I was out there in the cold hustling, trying to make my money.
Trying to make your money. That's too funny.
Good memories.
Yeah, good childhood memories. Is there anything else that you wanted to mention about childhood? Anything that...
Actually, you know what? Maybe we'll leave it there. That's wholesome. So cute. Little taffy apples.
Little taffy apples. Everyone gets taffy apples.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, we definitely... Again, we kind of talked about... like, I still feel like for me, like, characters are big from my childhood that are still here. We used to do a lot of bike rides, too. And my dad still loves bike riding to this day.
Yeah.
And it's probably because he would always take us when we were younger. But it's good being a kid. Actually, I had a really... It was a serious conversation, but with one of the Bears reporters just in the press box where at sometimes during the games, they'd bring out, like, the hero of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And this... I want to say it was this last game where they brought out a young kid. Must have been 6 or 7 years old. And he's already had like 3 spinal surgeries. And we were like, man, you know, when you're a kid, this should be the time of your life where
you don't have to worry about that stuff.
That kind of stuff. Like, there's going to be plenty of time throughout your life where you're going to have to deal with a lot of shit. Like, this shouldn't be the time. So, you know, I'm grateful that we both, you know, had childhood or had memories that we can reflect on in a good way that help even define us to who we are today. But that's obviously not everyone gets that opportunity. But we just wanted to share some of our fun, wholesome times that we had when we were growing up. You should do the same in the comments. Let us know what stands out. Did you do something, a tradition, a trip, a character, anything? We'd love to hear what you have to say, just to, you know, help us connect you with, you know, our audience, because we all have them. We all have those cool memories that, for whatever
funny
reason,
stories,
they just stand out.
Yeah. You know what I wish we had? I wish we had some of our old work to read.
Oh,
that'd be
goodness.
so funny if we had.
Yeah, I'm trying to... I know I still have my 6th grade report of wanting to be a lawyer.
Oh,
I still have that. I still have that. I know exactly where it's at in my parents' house, and I have my old or my uncle's old, like, you know, card for his law firm. And I pasted a picture, and we both took a picture. A hilarious looking picture for me and him, because we're all like super weird looking. Really fun though. But yeah, it was nice going down memory lane with you, babe, and just kind of reflecting. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. Next week is going to be our Halloween episode, right?
Yeah, next week's Halloween. Yeah.
We're going to share some scary stories, I've decided.
Oh, that's a good idea. Scary stories, Halloween themed.
We're also going to show the funniest picture that I just saw at your house the other day.
That's messed up. I don't even know what picture this is exactly, but...
It's you. It's one of your Halloween costumes. It's you and Dan. So if you guys want to see...
Oh, I know which one it is. Yeah. Hey, it almost ties into what we're talking about here, too.
Yeah. Just stay tuned.
Stay tuned for that for next week. It'll be a fun episode. But appreciate everyone for tuning in to episode 13. Episode 13 of Couples Coverage. Please subscribe to the podcast on YouTube. Subscribe on Spotify. Also, make sure to give us a like on our YouTube videos and leave those comments and just share it with a friend. It's really going to help us out here in the end. But we're also on the Instagram. Go follow us on the gram. We just posted this awesome haul that we got from Owen. So you can use the code CC15 to get some awesome products as well. TikTok. Posting the clips, little social shorter clips from our podcast on there. So go, follow us on that as well. But that's going to be a wrap for episode 13. Appreciate everyone for listening, and we'll see you next week. Adios.
Bye.